My guest today is a remarkable gent who in his opening act became the first Brazilian player in that vaunted nation's football history ever to win the Premier League, as a member of the Arsenal Invincibles team of 2003-04 to boot. But that was just the appetiser, because he then traded in the jersey for the tailored suit of a front office phenomenon, revealing himself to be just as unfathomably impactful in that second role, masterminding a truly exceptional Arsenal revival, a breathtaking journey of transformation and organisational change. And as the club attempts to build on its success season on season, live from Los Angeles during Arsenal's pre-season tour, it's a joy to say benvindo to Arsenal sporting director. It's Mr. Edu Gaspar.
Hey Rog, how are you? Thank you for the words. Thank you for the starting. So pleasure to be here with you.
It's an incredible time to be with you, Edu. Edu, last year, you pushed the Premier League title to the very final day. 89 points, pipped again by relentless Manchester City. You've joked that Pep Guardiola should go into rugby coaching now that he's won everything in football. It's clear to everyone that your Arsenal team is exceptional. We are now on the cusp of a new season, one in which, again, it must feel like you're within touching distance of success. What's the one new ingredient that you believe your team have added to make this campaign end in the first Premier League title for Arsenal since you were a player?
So what we have to question ourselves, what is success? If success is just winning titles, or if success is just being playing the Champions League, we have to understand the stage of the club we are at the moment and consider what we're doing is success or not. In my position, what I feel really proud, and I feel we change the perception of the club. We change people's vision, what they see Arsenal Football Club right now. I think we change how they see us compared to the past. And this for me is success. This is for me something really strong and make me feel really proud. And we have to be proud of it. Of course, we want to win titles. Of course, we want to bring the trophies here to this football club. But how we're going to bring it, for me, is the most important thing. So I want to compete with someone as I am competing internally. I want to win in the best way possible. I want to win and get the trophy. And I want to people looking to us and say, I feel proud of you guys because you're winning the right way. You get the trophy in the best way possible. And that's what I feel. I feel proud of ourselves. So I'm not talking about no one here, but I'm talking about ourselves and how to win, how to lose, how to draw, how to get the trophy. For me, this makes a lot of sense for me. And because it doesn't matter, for example, if we didn't get the trophy last season, but ask every single fan of Arsenal what they feel about us. That for me is important. They have to feel proud of us, how we're working, how we're doing, because we live in sports. Live in sports, sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. But how, for me, is important. And we probably didn't get the trophy last year, but I feel proud. And we have to feel proud of ourselves, the way we work, the way we did, everything what we put in there to get the trophy. We have to feel proud. What is success? And that's what we want to go deeper on the conversations, because this is what I love to do and I feel proud to do, because that's I think what the direction we as a club has to go always.
For those too young to have seen you as a player, first of all, I remember you as an elegant, cultured, quite potent midfielder who could pick apart a defence with a crafted left-footed through ball, also dive into a gritty tackle to win back possession. In your own words, can you tell us what kind of player you were and what you tried to do every time you went on the field? I
tried to be a very modern midfielder, to be fair, because in my time we play 4-4-2 kind of system. In that situation, in 4-4-2, midfielders has to attack very much, but also has to defend really, really well, because we play two midfielders, which is now in the modern football, you have a number 6, which is much more defensive, and the number 8 and 10 going forward a little bit more. So I'm always thinking about how can I be modern, how can I assist the team, how can I help the team being very good on going forward, but also trying to be really, really strong to defend well. That's I remember always in my mind, because as a Brazilian, technically, we are really good going forward and then passing the ball and everything. But they always said Brazilians doesn't like to defend very much, isn't it? They like to the ball, they like to going forwards. And I always in my mind, I try to change a little bit there just to be more modern, more European. and add, of course, in my football, those characteristics which are going to increase the level in my performance. So that's what I try to be always in my career.
And you know about English title glory firsthand. You were an important part of that legendary Invincible Arsenal team under legendary French manager Arsène Wenger. I know you like to tell an anecdote of a time when you were frustrated, you'd been dropped, you confronted Wenger, I think mid-meeting, and he just calmly took out his notebook, walked you through the data, which showed just how overworked you'd been, that you were lagging at the end of games. How did that moment of fact over opinion affect the way that you deal with players now as a sporting director?
Yeah, I think if you are clever enough or intelligent enough, you learn from every single situation, yeah? And I'm lucky in my career because since I'm 5, 6, 7, I started to play football, I think I learned a lot of different cases. But that case specifically was beautiful, to be fair, because I remember I was playing every single game, starting, and the team is doing really well. I was performing well. One day I see the list in the dressing room. My name wasn't there for the game. And then as a Brazilian, sometimes you put some emotion on things. And I said, sometimes. No, I have to talk to Arsène straight away. And everybody was looking to me as well in the dressing room and said, Edu, why are you not in the team? You know, the players say, what's happening? You injury? You feeling something? I said, no. And then I changed it, and I went directly to his office and knocked the door. And I said, boss, can I talk to you? And he was in the meeting, huh? He was with someone. And I knocked the door open, can I talk to you? I said, yeah. Give it just 1 second. And then he left the meeting, get me here like this. And I said, okay, let's sit in another office here. I said, okay, sitting here, very calm. Maybe he knew. Very calm, very, very much Arsène Wenger. And then he said, okay, tell me what's wrong. I said, Arsène, please, what's going on here? Because I'm been playing well, the team is performing well, we're winning a lot of things, blah, 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 blah. And he leaving me talk like for 5 minutes, express and talk. Yeah, that's my feeling too. And then he opened one book with a lot of information, data, physical information, games in front, game is what we played before. And I said, Edu, I just want you to rest, my friend, because I need that game in front of us, and I need you fresh, because you're playing so many games, you physically you like this, you're feeling something, now is your time to relax. And also I have to tell you something, he said to me, can you please enjoy your family? Go away, take your family. I don't want to see you even in the training grounds. And then can you imagine my face after I said what I said? And he just said, I just want to look after you, my friend. So don't worry, I don't want to see you here. Go and look after your family, go away, clean your mind, and then you're going to come back for the team for the next game. So.
I'm hearing so many things in this story, Edu. Like, an understanding about the player, the long haul, not just the individual game, the collective, also seeing the player as a whole human being and not just in a footballing sense. But when you retired, initially you dabbled in international business, but then you became director of football at your original club, Corinthians in Brazil. Your 5 years there, still the most successful in the club's 113-year existence. I think you won 2 Brazilian league titles, the Copa de Libertadores, 2012 Club World Cup over Chelsea. And it's amazing to me because you're in your first real front office role. You'd left high school early to become a professional footballer. Can you talk about the process by which you learn the deeply complex skills of the front office job, negotiation, squad building, organisational development that you needed for that front office role?
That's quite a difficult question because I learned in the role. I think that the only experience what I had is how to treat the players, first of all. Because in my career, I've been through every single situation as a player. I've been injury, I've been the bench, I've been the guy which everybody loves, I've been the guy as a captain, I've been the guy which nobody wants to. So I face every single situation as a player, which I know what they are feeling when you have to make some decisions. So that's helping me a lot now to make some decisions, thinking about them, how they feeling, how they are, how they get information when you have to talk to them. So I started from there, treating the players. And then during the course, I started to learn about negotiation, learn to talking about agencies, learn to talking about squad building. But was everything happening missing something. For example, okay, when I started enjoying Corinthians, and the guy said to me, "Edu, that's your office." And then when I came into the office, I say, "Okay, what is everything? What is the contract of the players? What is the information? What is the data? What is the analysis? What is everything here? Where I start?" The guy said, "Edu, is nothing here." I said, "Okay, maybe you have to start to build a process here." For example, I said to the guys, how you sign players, okay? Because I didn't know. So someone calling you, someone recommend to you, the coach talk to you, how you guys sign players? And everybody was looking. I remember the president, the guy said, "No, normally the coach talk to me, or agents normally recommend the player." Say, no. Let's stop and leave it to me, because I want to create a process here, how we're going to sign a players. And then I started to talking about squad balance, squad building, and all those things which nobody really in Corinthians that time is talking about, to be fair. Then I started to create a process of information as well as we do now with the scouting. So which kind of information the scout need to recommend a player for us, and which kind of recommendation they have to give it to me, which kind of report they have to send it to me as well. And my knowledge on the legal part wasn't good enough. And then I felt, I say, okay, I have to stop here and I have to do a course. I have to learn, I have to talk to people, I have to go for a course, which they give it to me something which are going to give much more confidence to talk to my legal team.
You can just watch Suits on television.
And then I went for a course. I remember I stayed 4 days from 8 o'clock in the morning for 7 o'clock in the evening, studying every single contract what we can imagine in the sports. NBA, football, baseball, NFL, any kind of contract in the world, the guys will explain to me how they do, how they develop, how they talk, how they evolve conversations. From that, I start to take notes, because I want to transform some ideas from the other sports to the football. And then I start to get some knowledge and some confidence to say, okay, let's talking about percentage, let's talking about sign-on fee, loyalty bonus, let's talking about all those things, because now I started to get more confidence on what I'm thinking which is the best for Corinthians in that moment. And then I start to build my own ideas, which I get a lot of support from the club. I get a lot of support for my legal teams when we have there, which started to develop some confidence and some skills, and the things started to do well.
So a lot of it's self-taught, but you also identified what you didn't know and where you needed to study and skill up.
Oh, definitely.
But after 3 years working in the front office of the Brazilian national team next, you then rejoined Arsenal 2019, this time as the club's first ever technical director, later promoted to sporting director. And I want to say, this was a very different Arsenal. This squad you inherited, honestly, it looked like it was log-jammed. There were a lot of older players on large contracts that were perceived by the media to be almost impossible to move on. Tabloid media talked a lot about deadwood. And it's honestly been incredible to witness from the outside. You create change piece by piece, turning a squad that was considered lightweight at times into this young, swashbuckling iron fist of a collective that we now know. Edu, the art of squad building, setting the foundation. How do you approach it? Because no one's listening to this. You can tell us your secrets.
Well, I don't think it's secrets. I think when you live in the football world, sometimes you have to be simple on your decisions, and sometimes you have to make decisions, even if the decision is not popular or unpopular. You have to be very strong on your ideas, what you believe, what is good for the club, what is good for the future of the club is and everything. So for me, there is some elements here in football which I always be with a lot of attention. Okay, I always started to see one squad when I enjoy, or when I see the squad, I started to see the squad balance, the positions, the age, the group, what we have. But there are 3 elements here, which for me you have to be really aware. First of all, we have to see the age of the player, and then you have to see the salary of the player, and at the third, you have to see the performance of the player. So if you have a player over 26, 27 years old, you need attention. If his salary is high, you need attention. And if he's not performing, you're dead. Let's come back. If you have a player, 27 years old, 28 years old, big salary, but he's performing, you can accept. What you cannot accept, if you have those 3 elements, and one of them, when over 28, you started to be uncomfortable, it's better to you, move on. because maybe this player is blocking someone younger as assets to help you. So when I came into Arsenal, when I see all squads, with all my respect, almost everyone was over 26, 27, big salary is not performing. If you have those three elements, which club in the world wants to come here and buy one of our players? No one. So how you deal with that situation, when you have those situations in your hands, you have to be strong. And sometimes you have to make decisions. So or you go strong and try to make the decision to let those players go, or your project going to take, like, instead of to take 3-4 years, going to take 7, 8, 9. So, and then unpopular decisions start to come, because most of the players they have those elements sometimes in the club, they have a fan base, they have the media they love the players. But for the club, it's not healthy sometimes to keep the players in that situation. I start when I see every single player in the squad with those characteristics, and then I say, guys, we have to clean the squad with all my respect, and that's to build again a new foundation here. And then from that foundation, we need to sign players younger, with less salary, with better future, and hungry to help us to go for where we want to go.
You've not done this alone. Mikel Arteta, you two formed an immediate bond. You've appeared unshakable from the outside. There have been lows, though. The club lost the first 3 games in 2021. The hashtag Arteta out was everywhere. But you fast forward to today. Mikel, not a strand is out of place on his incredible hair. The Arteta fist pump feels omnipresent on the sideline. Team is restated as one of the most elite in Europe. Was that Arteta at the beginning, the same gent we know and love today? Or did something inside of him change in the midst of all that adversity?
Raj, I think we start saying something which is important here. Of course, I'm talking about processes, we're talking about how I think, but in the football club, it's impossible to do anything by yourself. It's impossible. So we need people around you. You need your coach, you need your teams, you need a legal, you need a financial, you need a communication, you need everyone in the same direction to make things happen. All impossible. I can have the best idea in the world, but if we don't have the right people in the right area with the right support, it's impossible. And I think we have that in the club. Okay, just to make sure here and be clear to you. And now going to Mikel, for example, of course, Mikel's in all those processes, it's key element in everything. I try to do nothing what he's not comfortable with, and he also tried to do nothing what I'm not comfortable with. We start one relationship which we didn't know each other. We just knew each other from hello and goodbye. We never get one time together, we just play against. And then we started to create a relationship, because I also believe relationships, you don't do that, you become your best friends. Relationship, you need the time to prove how you are, how you connect, how you trust. And now I think we are on one stage which for me is beautiful, because I believe we are much more than just a sporting director and a manager relationship. I believe we have a friendship relationship. So I know his family, he knows my family, so we get to well together. So I think we built something special here as well, which helps our relationship, but helps the club as well, to make sure that two guys in the same position, they are right, they can help the club to move forward.
Last question for you. You're a former member of that legendary Invincibles team that went the entire season unbeaten. You know exactly what it takes to win an English title. You've got a unique POV on where this Arsenal squad is right now. As you talk to us about the mindset a team must have, they almost need to be perfect in this season ahead. What does it take to never lose focus? And then tell us, does this season's Arsenal squad have that?
I think so. I think we approve already how much far we can go as a squad. So this season also, if we can add some more quality in the squad to help to increase even more the quality and the performance of the team, we're looking to do that. I think Mikel put one strategy and one culture in the football, which is right to do that, in pushing to the winning mentality. And the winning mentality doesn't mean just to go there and win games. The winning mentality is when you are home, when you're training, when you're resting, when you're eating, when you're sleeping. And that mentality, I believe we already have a very strong in our squad, because of Mikel put his culture, his ideas, and everybody absorbed that in the beautiful way. Not only the player, even the staff as well. So when you're talking about here, we're talking about everyone. And that's elements of understanding how to win, what you need to do to win, as we did in our time when I play for here. So every single minute, every single day, be consistent and be professional and understand what you need to do to win things. It's really, really important. And I think Mikel is doing that unbelievably well. And everybody wants to go in that journey. If we're not there, maybe you can be out of our planning and everything.
Edu, to you, to your football team, to your family, and the journey that is the season ahead. Obrigado.
Oh, thank you very much. No, pleasure. Thank you very much for your time as well. Enjoy it.
Courage.